Peace, peace. So today I wanted to share something I journaled like last week or over a week ago, and the title was The Power of Choice. And this week, of course, find myself journaling about the same things because as oh, okay, I gotta make sure it's playing. As humans, we are subject to this human earthly experience, whatever you want to call yourself. As beings on this earth, we're subject to this earthly experience. So we deal with emotions, and emotions aren't something to suppress, there's something to identify. And today I found myself going through some emotions, and I wanted to alchemize and to transmute that energy. So basically, overall, I just want to share some things that have just been on my mind about the power of choice and how powerful our minds are, and how we have the power to decide what emotional and mental state that we would like to vibrate in, because the earth is ran off of energy, frequency, and vibration. So our emotions are energy in motion, and they tell us what needs to still be healed, what triggers, what traumas, what needs to be worked through. But what I've learned in the past week or so is identifying my emotions without becoming that emotion. Like, I can be in a state of sadness without becoming sad, without becoming actually sadness, without making sadness my identity. So becoming more of the observer. And I know we heard the quote or the term like observe, don't absorb, but sometimes that can just sound so easy. So learning how to alchemize, how to transmute, and not only that, a step further and a step deeper is devoting yourself to yourself. Something that has helped me really love myself more is the fact that I have been so consistent with working out, with stretching, with getting time out in nature, really challenging myself, sweating. Okay, I was trying to hear if that was thunder, but just being very, very consistent and devoted to myself. When you're on a certain frequency and a certain vibration, that's what you naturally attract. You naturally attract. Of course, we have lessons and different things like that, but you would naturally attract so much abundance from putting out and showing the universe, the Most High, that you love yourself. You attract situations and you manifest a lot quicker. Something that I had wrote in my notes, and I like to write things so I can go back and I can look at them, is powerful emotional alchemy is happening in real time. Because literally in that moment I was feeling emotional, and it felt so powerful to not choose to go deeper into that emotion, to identify and to bring logic to such a subjective feeling in that moment, but still honoring my emotions, but choosing to have a good day, choosing to take my power back from that feeling rather than drowning in that emotion. And in that time, it felt very, in real time, it felt very powerful to realize how much control I had over my being, over my mind. I also wrote, there is a safe place and home within myself I can always return to, and every time I choose awareness and intention over reaction, I'm adding another stone to my foundation. So think of your being, of yourself, as a house that you are building, and there's a foundation, and every time you choose to live with intention, to live righteously, to live within truth, and when you are triggered, when you have a tough emotion, rather than just react, that you choose awareness, you choose intention, self-reflection, alchemy, transmutation. You choose these things because also it shows you that you love yourself and that you have full control. This is part of self-mastery. Self-mastery is mastering your energy, mastering your chi. part of your chi is your emotions, the energy that rises up, whether that's grief, anger, sadness, identifying and honoring these emotions without drowning and becoming these emotions and making your identity these emotions. Because everything that happened and occurred in our life, no matter how sad or how great, it was already mapped out by the Most High. It was already choreographed to happen. It was to teach us a lesson, to give us an experience. um it's all divinely choreographed. So just see what you can learn, because life is temporary, life is an experience. So through this experience, we are meant to learn a lot about ourselves. We are meant to master ourselves and master our energies. That's what a lot of the Egyptian and ancient symbolism is about. It's to remind us to know ourselves, to know thyself, and to study thyself through your energy, through your chi. So that's all that this video was about. I just wanted to share that, but I love myself, continue healing, continue growing, living intentionally, living in truth, living in truth, in righteousness, challenging yourself, and not only being disciplined, but being devoted to yourself and loving yourself above anything else. Shalom.